Hey there, welcome back to Algebra 2. Today's lesson 2.6 is factoring trinomials. But this time we're going to consider leading coefficients that are greater than 1 and not prime. So doing the guess and check method is not so easy. So here are two examples in exercise 1 that have prime leading coefficients. And these are the ones we did in 2.5. So we're going to use the box method because that's going to lend itself well to moving on to leading coefficients that are not prime, that are composite. So again, we can guess and check this, but we're going to use that box method just so we can get some more practice with these. And I think after this lesson and this independent practice, you should have this down pat. So remember, the 5x squared goes here, the minus 16 goes here, and then I go to my crisscross worksheet over here, and I'm going to multiply these two together, and the negative 80x squared comes up here. I'm going to put the negative 38x down here, and now we're looking for two numbers here and here where they're going, because this is a minus sign, I know they're going to subtract to give me negative 38. So what can we do? Let's do some 80. So I know it's 1 times 80. Well, that subtracts to 79. And then I'm going to get 2 times 40. Already, nice. Already found my answers. So 2x and 40x. And we know that because the negative is dominant, I know the bigger number has to have the minus. The positive is the 2x. So it doesn't matter where you put it. All right, now looking for the GCF for each of these. We're talking about 5x going here, and we're talking about 1x going here, and they do multiply to 5x squared. So 5x times a negative 40, 5x times a negative 8 is negative 40, and x times a positive 2 is going to give me my positive 2x. So my answer here is going to be 5x plus 2 and x minus 8. Works every time. Just love it. All right, second one. Actually, this one you don't even necessarily even need to do the box method because this is easy enough to guess and check because we have 11x and x. And right away I see that my constant is a positive 4. So I know that 11 times 4 is going to give me my 44, and the extra 1 is going to give me the 45 with plus signs between it. Now, doesn't mean you can't go all through the process and use the box, but that one was pretty easy to see. And once you get really good at factoring, it'll be easy for you to see as well. So let's move on to the more difficult ones. So here we are at exercise 2, and these are the last two we're going to do because after this, I want you to start doing these on your own. So first one, let's start with our box. All right, so one more time, we're going to put the 15x squared here. We're going to put the positive 2 here. We're going to go to the crisscross worksheet, and we're going to multiply these two and put positive 30x here. And our middle term, positive 13x, goes here. Now, the nice thing about this is that they're all positive, so they're all going to be positive. So I know my signs are also going to be positive. Signs are the same. I know they're going to be adding to get to the 13. So let's think about some of those factors of 30. And as we do it, we think about which numbers are going to add to give me 13. So 1 times 30, nope. 2 times 15, nope. 3 times 10, yep. So 3x and 10x. So that means we're going to put the 3x here. It doesn't matter where you put it. Positive 10x up here. Look for the GCFs. So going up, it's 5x because 15 and 10 is going to be 5x. 15 and 3 is going to be 3x. And you better make sure when you're done that 3x times 5x does give you that 15x squared. So now here, I know this is going to be positive. So 3 times 1 is going to give me 3x. And 5x times 2 is going to give me positive 10x. So my answer is 3x plus 2 and 5x plus 1. Oh, we have 4 in this. We have A, B, C, and D. Okay, so let's keep going. At any time, if you want to pause this and try these on your own, feel free to. So 10x squared, negative 30, crisscross worksheet. Multiply them. It goes up on top, minus 300 x squared. And the middle is positive 13x. So in this case, because we have a subtraction sign in front of that, negative 300, we know we're going to be subtracting to get to the 13. So as we go through our 300s, we have to think about that. And again, sometimes this gets a little crazy, but I start with 1 times 300. And I know I have to subtract to get to 13. So I'm going to skip a little bit, and I'm going to skip down to maybe 5. I know 5 times 60 is going to be 300. And I know I'm now getting closer to 13, but I'm still not there. So we're going to try one more time. How about 10 times 30? So now when we subtract it, we're at 20. So we're getting closer. So, but if we do 20, that's not going to work. So let's stay a little closer to the 12, to 10. So how about 11 doesn't go in? How about 12 times 25 is 300? And yeah, that works. So sometimes you don't have to, as you get good at these, you don't have to write every single number down. You can start using a little common sense. So 12x here and 25x here. Now, I'm not using this. 25x, 12x. I know the positive is dominating, so that means that the positive has to go to the 25. So this is going to be negative 12. Look for those GCFs. So this one's going to be 5x. This one's going to be 2x, and 2x times 5x is 10x squared. And 2x has to be, this has to be minus 6 to get to the negative 12, and this has to be positive 5 to get to the 25x. So my answer is 5x minus 6 and 2x plus 5. Again, does not matter which order. Commutative property says it doesn't matter. You can have 2x plus 5 times 5x minus 6. I'm really hoping these are starting to get a little easier for you. And please, when it comes time to do the independent practice for these, it's going to be a little tedious doing these, 10, 15 times. But I promise you, when you're done with them, you will know what you're doing. All right, the next, where is the next one? Here they are, C and D. These are the last two before you head to independent practice. So we're going to start with the box. And right away, how about I put the crisscross worksheet over here. All right, so 12x squared minus 15. Multiply them together, and that goes up here to negative 180x squared. The positive 8x goes here. Because we have a negative 180x squared, we know we're going to be subtracting to get to the 8. So when we start thinking about those numbers, we're going to subtract to get to the 8. So we have a long way to go because we have 1 times 180. So we're going to do some skipping around here. So how about we go to, I don't know, maybe 10? 10 times 18? Oh, crazy. Here you go. Didn't even have to look past that. You could have started going, 2 times 90, 3 times 60, 4 times 45, 5 times 36, 6 times 30, 9 times 20, and get to 10 times 18. It would take you a few extra steps, but still not horrible. So I have 10x. I have 18x. I know that the plus is dominating, so the 18 gets the plus, the 10 gets the minus. Look for the GCFs. And let's see, what do we have here? 12. GCF of 12 and 18 would be 6. And the GCF of 12 and 10 would be 2, which is great because 2 times 6 is 12. So this, I know this has to be a minus 5 in order to get to 2x times negative 5 is negative 10. I know this has to be a plus 3. So my answer is 2x plus 3, 6x minus 5. So why don't you pause this one? Do this one on your own, and then come back and we'll do it together. So the answer to this one turns out to be 4x minus 3 and 9x minus 2. If you got that answer, don't even watch anymore, you're done. If you didn't get that and you're still confused about it, basically what we did is we started with the box. We put the 36x squared in here. We put the positive 6 here, crisscross worksheet. We multiply these two together and we get 216x squared. The negative 35x goes down here. Because it's positive, we know both of them are negative because this has a negative 35 and the positive 216 tells me that a negative times a negative is a positive. And then you go down your list of possibilities. 300. I'm sorry, 216. I'm looking at the wrong one. I lost it. There it is. 216. So 1 times 216. Now I'm adding to get to 35. So I know I'm going to have numbers that are a little closer together than 1 and 216. So you start thinking a little bit, how about 4 times 64? Closer, but still no cigar. 6 times 36. That's 30. We're getting closer. And 7 doesn't go in. How about 8 times 27? There you go. So I know I'm going to have 8x here. I'm going to have 27x here. They go here. And now I need the GCFs. 36 and 27 is going to be 9x. Of 36 and negative 8 is 4x. And 9 times 4 is 36. So this has to be a minus 2. This one has to be a minus 3. And there's our answer. The beautiful thing about this box is it does take a little bit longer, but it works every time. And you do have to have a little common sense here. You have to be able to find that GCF pretty easily. You have to be able to know your times tables. When we're doing situations like this over here, you can get these pretty easily just using your calculator. You know, just do 216 divided by 4, 216 divided by 5, by 6, by 7, by 8. And if you come out with a decimal, you know it doesn't go in evenly. You only write down the integer factors here. All right, so until next time, always make good choices, and we'll see you at 2.7.